from the bus heading to Cary, North Carolina. Salute, Darin van Tassell. How is technology working this morning, sir?
Well, you have to tell me on your end. On our end, you can see the trees of the Carolinas at the moment.
Fantastic of you to join. I wanted
John,
to.
there's nothing like a good road trip. You know that.
Absolutely.
So happy to be a part of this.
I mean, we decided that we wanted to try to figure out how to get in touch with the defending USL League One champs as you were driving to Cary, North Carolina. I know that there is a bus and the seats are the seats blue, matching everything going on. Did they match?
Seats are blue. That's what the whole squad looks like in the back. Everybody's got their own seats. Most of them are sleeping. But yes. Okay.
I know.
But we're all sitting there waiting for you.
Well, but at the same time, they've got 10-minute warning, and I know that Ian has 20-minute warning, the way that we have structured this. And a shout-out to Director of Communications, Edwin Pintor, is EP. I said, EP, I wanted to try to do this. Where's everybody going to be at 10:30 Thursday morning? And he's like, on the bus. Okay.
Right there with us.
And I know it. So EP has decided to dive in the pile and go, yeah, we'll go ahead and try this. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about, specifically from a philosophical standpoint heading into this season. As a defending champ in USL League One, what has the offseason been like getting ready for defending a title in Statesboro in League One?
Well, you asked for. I think any club asked for the last 4 months that we've had. Everyone wants to go into the season with defending champs and, adding a star to their top of their, everything that they're wearing. I think it's been more work, not less. I think it's been just as fun as ever. If we do anything that we want to be one of our hallmarks, I hope every month feels like it did the last month, at least on the structure of a program, regardless if we're winning or losing. I don't know how to do that any other way, but it's been a really busy off season. It's been an excellent preseason. And when the whistle, blew last Saturday, and that was the last preseason game over, we immediately could switch to getting this thing going. And listen, all clubs live for, getting the next part going. But it's been busy. When you have success, players get to move on, and new players get to arrive.
So you look at, I guess, the added sense of responsibility now. And, you've been a great steward for the game there in East Georgia and in that part of the Southeast, and for USL and USL League One. Now there is the added elements of being this steward as a champion. I know that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for as an owner and a president and as a franchise, but what's it like having that added gravitas now that's attached to Tormenta?
Listen, it's fun. But at the same time, we've never done this before. We've never had an off season where we got to do it. So usually it's just easy being yourself because, as Oscar Wilde said, everybody else is taken. And that's what we get to do. So that part's not super hard. We're still trying to complete the rest of the stadium and build a team. I don't think it's been that difficult, but let's just call it what it is. It's fun. It won't help us win any games going forward. I don't think winning last year helps us win tomorrow, for example. But it's also, we get the benefit of a championship, and two of them, at least with our club, as we're growing the fan base and selling tickets, and it allows us to stand on a couple blocks taller and look really good in photos and pictures. And it's nice to think of ourselves that way, isn't it? There's no sense in dodging it. I know sports is filled with the metaphors. Now you get a target on your back, and goodness knows every team wants that. We're going to keep score every game, but in the heat of the games, I'm not sure it's going to make much difference on any outcomes on how we think of ourselves or how the opposition does. But if you're going to give me an off season every year where we get to be defending champs, let's do it.
How is the development of the stadium? I know that kind of the last visions that a lot of folks got were in that USL League One final. Where are things with the development of the stadium? I know that there's a lot of ancillary stuff going on around it, but where do things stand right now?
We're still getting a lot of horizontal work. One of the beautiful parts of South Georgia and the whole state, but especially the South, is we get great red Georgia clay. And it is the foundation of so much of what we get to do. But when it rains one day, you get to let it dry out for 4. And such has been our winter. We're right now just hoping the parking lot's ready for next Saturday on the first home game. But it's moving along and well. The second scoreboard is at least sitting in the warehouse in town now. It would be fun to get that one up at some time. But listen, there's a lot of good mantras about our DNA, and a lot of it is we're building it as we're going.
And when you look at what you've been able to build, not just from the League One standpoint, but from the W standpoint, the infrastructure, the A, and everything, and all of this alphanumerical soup that you have going on right now, when you look at, say, the last handful of years, if I had told you as we're getting ready for the 2023 season opener that you're going to be a part of on the Plus against North Carolina FC, that you would have accomplished these things, what would you have told me?
I actually thought they were going to go faster, but I think when you're in the middle of it, time does seem like it's too slow. When you're on the outside, it probably looks like things are moving quicker. Isn't that the human nature component of it? But I probably don't think about that question enough. It's fun that others are, and thank you for that asking it. We're in a good place. The program's growing, but our next steps of it are now we need to make this habitual. Doing it one doesn't make it as a habit. Getting 2 in a year certainly was thrilling, but we've got to find a way to be here year in and year out, and that's the next step of growth for the club. And part of mine and Mitra's role is to make sure we're providing the infrastructure that gets to do that properly. We think we got the right personnel. We feel very good about that. Front office coaches and players, and you're going to get a chance to talk to them a little bit about that. And we think we have the right community in which to go everything well.
So when you build the way that you've been building, do you think of yourselves as a model franchise when it comes to the sport itself, considering, and this is the analogy that I've given you in the past, I said that every sports league needs a Green Bay. Every sports league needs that Green Bay Packers element to it, where it's not just, it's not just the big cities that are attached to it. Every league's got to have that Green Bay that's just as successful. And I would posit that you're the Green Bay of American soccer right now, considering what you've been able to accomplish in short order. Do you think of yourselves as a role model, not just for smaller towns and markets, but for those larger entities about how to go about things and making sure that you're taking care of infrastructure and players and growth and all of this horizontal and vertical elements that are these moving pieces?
Well, we'll take that. Can you still hear me okay? We've got a big semi truck right here. I think he's blocking reception. I know we'll take it. I mean, this is really kind of you. Well, it's very kind of you. We'll take if we're a model for anything, that's clearly for others to decide. But we knew what we were doing when we got into this. We weren't surprised to know how our community's metro population size compared to where our competition was going to be. But because it was home, we felt like we knew how to navigate those things. We just get to work differently on those areas, working harder. I don't think what we have to work hard on, John, is any than other clubs. It's still the same people along the way. I like the Green Bay analogy, but somebody has to be there. I think rather than sort of saying we're the smallest market, maybe a better way to say it is we deserve to belong in those bigger markets with what we're doing. Smaller doesn't mean less sophisticated. we certainly are not. We're certainly not that. We have fewer people in our zip code, but the 912 in our area code is really happy that to be a part of this. Listen, I think that's our challenge, right? But we own it, accept it, and keep going. If we're a model that can help others, terrific. But we spend so much time making sure we get it right on ourselves. That part's really important.
But one of the things that I don't want folks to lose in this is that I would also posit that you're the spoke in a very large wheel when it comes to the growth of the sport in that particular part. I mean, literally, you take a pen and a map of Georgia, and if you put a pin right there in Statesboro and you do the circle and you look around it almost like the old days when WKRP in Cincinnati was on, you go walking into the lobby and you see the footprint of the AM transmitter there against the back wall. I would say if you do the same kind of a thing where Tormenta is concerned, all of where the sport has grown, not just Bullitt County, but toward Augusta, toward Macon, toward Savannah, down to Vidalia with what we've seen in high school, up toward Washington County and all of this kind of stuff toward, Reynolds Plantation, that you're a spoke in a very large wheel that I don't think folks take into account when it comes to, oh, yeah, Statesboro, Georgia, but you're a spoke in a larger picture.
I love the WKRP reference. You are so dating us to all the listeners.
Yeah,
because,
baby.
Les Nessman and Lonnie Anderson making her debut, and Howard had to be one of my favorite characters and all that. So I know that. Mm-hmm. I know that graph you're talking about. University towns create those spokes. We were able to jump right in and lay our our cable and our internet wire right on top of what Georgia Southern's done by Statesboro being a university town. So thanks for acknowledging it. I think it gives us some advantages in that regard. But whatever the challenges are, we still have to put a team together and have the right infrastructure for us, and have to have amazing coaches and a staff and a culture that players want to always come to. Wherever teams are, they're going to have to use whatever their resources are that they can use and do that. Statesboro gives us certain ones to do it. If you pull that WKRP web real quickly, we're going into the Atlantic Ocean, so we have to really grab the folks that are living on the land when you live this close to the coast.
Sam Williamson in the Twitch pitch is asking how Lionel Messi is going to fit into the team when he arrives in South Georgia. I mean, his dad's in Saudi Arabia trying to talk to folks. Is there any truth that you're trying to grab Messi before he heads home?
Well, I can't deny it. I think the options for wherever he arrives, all clubs will be willing and able, and so will we.
So is Jake going to be willing to create a Messi rule like MLS did with David Beckham?
If those options come about, we will do our best to find him a landing space. I can tell you the chicken fingers at the clubhouse are amazing. He's going to love that. The barbecue at Bandy's and the wine at Vino's are going to be big hits with Mr. Messi should we get it.
No doubt. Coco is in the Twitch pitch as well. And so Coco says, so Messi's on your short list. Got it. We know how this is working.
Yeah, write it down. Write it down. He's never been on the long list.
That's true. Absolutely true. All right. Look over your right shoulder, and who's going to be the next victim? Who's the next victim? Or are you going to hand this to EP? How are we going to do?
I think we're going straight to Coach Cameron when he's ready for it. So I'm going to hand all the tools here over to Edwin, and he's ready to roll.
All right, EP. This is live radio on the tour bus as South Georgia Tormenta is heading to Cary, North Carolina. This is fantastic. There's Ian Cameron. And you're passing earbuds over. All right. So there's Ian's got the earbud in. This is fantastic. I love this. And shout out to our friends at Tormenta who are doing this on the team bus as they are heading to Cary, North Carolina. And I'm just talking to Phil until Ian is gassed up and ready to go as the director of communications, Edwin Pintor, is handing over the tools. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fantastic. Ian Cameron, head coach of South Georgia Tormenta, hanging out with us now. And how was your off season, huh?
It was busy. My wife and I brought another little child into the world, more my wife than myself. But yeah, we've got two little girls now, so that took up a lot of the time. So my own family, and then adding to our Tormenta family with new players, acquisitions, trying to help some boys move to the next level that they're looking for. So that's taken up most of the time. A busy off season.
So what's it like being a champ, but at the same time knowing that family changes? I don't think that sometimes the American football fan knows that permanence is a very rare thing when it comes to rosters. What's it been like shuffling in and out and gaining new relationships, losing friends, gaining new ones? What's that like?
Yeah, it's definitely the off season is not how people might imagine it. You know, you're not taking your medal and going off to the beach and celebrating. It's very much of what's next. It's, you know, the week after the championship. Quickly, as a head coach, as a coaching staff, we have to adjust our mindset to try to find the best solution for the boys who want to move to the next level, and then to quickly make sure that we get our ducks in a row, our chess pieces in, to make sure that we can mount a serious contention for the following year. So the planning is continuous. The kind of elation, the celebration period is short-lived, but that's okay. You know, the downside of the way that American soccer is set up is that you have to sit and wait for 3 months before you get to play again. And whether you win the championship like we did, or whether you don't have a successful year, in either situation, you just want to get back at it, to be honest. You want to move on, play that next game, get back in a competitive environment. And thankfully, tomorrow night, we get to do that. So that's a relief, to be honest.
So, what has it been like here in the preseason, getting ready for the new USL League One season? And I know that there are those of us who cover the sport, and we sit there and we attach things to defending champs. Okay, everybody's coming for you. You're the defending champ. We got to knock you off your perch. But at the same time, I know that you and the staff kind of put that stuff to the side and sit there and go, last year was last year, this year is this year. How do you try to rationalize, blend both of those ideas, knowing folks think one thing, but you're focusing on the new season? So how does that? How does
your mind in terms of the connection? But
no, go ahead, Ian.
I think I got the question reasonably well. Yeah, I think actually our biggest challenge as a staff and as an organisation is to actually celebrate last season, because we find it much easier in our organisation to be chasing, to be proving ourselves again. That comes very, very easily to us. We don't get too high with the highs and too low with the lows. We had a great season, but I think, you know, the bigger challenge for our staff is to actually celebrate last season and pay homage to it and understand, you know, how big an accomplishment it was to win 2 trophies as a franchise. But again, on the flip side, going into the season, it's very simple. USL One soccer, for anybody who's inside of it, knows how tight the margins are. We didn't get the playoff berth until the very last game of the season. We were deserving of it, but it was a kind of hotly contested season all year. You've got teams that didn't make the playoffs are very good. Northern Colorado are a very good team. Madison are a very good team. Others were good teams, and the margins are very, very tight. So we're not naive to that. We've looked across the league at all these teams and who they've added. Fuego have added Carrera, who's a fantastic footballer. NCFC that we play on Friday night have almost, I don't know how they've managed to acquire the roster that they've acquired with the amount of top caliber players they have pulled together. Obviously, their model must be special because some of the boys they brought in it's like a championship squad that they've amassed. So, look, we can see threats all around us at all times, but we have to just double down on the Tormenta way. We have to double down on the things that we thought were good about us even in the year where we weren't successful, when the staff were together in 2021. Those things that we kept from 21 into 22 that we knew worked, even though the results weren't there, and then double down on the things we take from 22 that worked, and then make a couple of adjustments and try to go again and try to compete and try to be in the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, make a run, and that's all it is. But we're just ever so grateful to take the field again. People can give whatever titles they want to us. We deserve that title. We're proud of it. We're proud to wear the star and the badge, but we're very, very interested in trying to get another one and another one. And that's not going to be the finished article tomorrow night, but come the end of the season, we want the same unity and processes that we put in place to rise and hit a crescendo once we come into the November time and try to be the best team at that point in the season. And that's the challenge we have, and it's an exciting one, and this group is really up for the battle.
What did you learn about yourself as a coach in a championship season?
It's not as enjoyable as you think it'll be. You're very proud of the effort everybody's made, but I think what our staff are probably proudest of ourselves is we, from being young, we managed to retain what we thought worked in 2021, but didn't show up in results in our league standing, and keep our head and keep those processes going into 2022, and with the right characters, the right players, the right unity of the group, you can do special things. But yeah, winning championships is cool on that night, but then quickly you move on, and to be honest, like I've said before, you learn some things. You just want to be back on the field. You want to go again, and play another competitive game, and we're ever so grateful for that opportunity come Friday night.
What did you learn about this group in the preseason going forward to this season opener?
Well, the kind of challenge that we face with the new group is you've got a group of returning guys who've obviously found one solution to a championship. But we've obviously made very, very clear that's a solution. So there's habits that we had last season that need to change. There's habits that we have to keep. We have to keep moving. But the returning guys have to be very clear. We've had many conversations about it of, okay, what does it take to build a new championship team? And then the guys coming in, so they have to stay hungry. They have to stay energetic to keep on making changes, to adjust, and not just say, oh, I've done it already. I've found the solutions. We haven't. We found a solution. We're going to have to find new solutions this year. And then the group that come and join us, the danger with those guys, if their mentality is off, is they think by just joining a team that's won a championship, that by proxy, that makes them championship caliber, that makes them a group that can achieve that. They've been brought here to do something new, to build a whole different team. And if they have any naivety about that, we'll find ourselves mid-table very, very quickly. So the guys coming in have to understand we're only going to be championship team if they act like champions, if they perform like champions. And the guys returning are going to have to stay hungry, stay energetic, understand and be willing to modify their habits to keep on moving forward. Otherwise, we'll become stagnant. So balancing those two psyches of the returning group versus the new group, that's kind of been the challenge. And our mantra last year was to be the best team down the home stretch. And again, that's the same. Hopefully we get off to a hot start. That'll be really helpful, right, to mount a regular season championship campaign to try to usurp Richmond, who were the best team last year, over the course of the season. But failing that, it's just being the best team down the stretch. And that takes unity, that takes consistency and habits, and that takes all the same ingredients and the foundation that we had last year, both in new group. And we're up for that challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
Ian Cameron, head coach of South Georgia Tormenta, hanging out with us for another couple of minutes from the team bus on the interstate as they're heading to the season opener in Cary, North Carolina against North Carolina FC. For those fans who haven't had the chance to see the new faces as they attempt to integrate into this championship roster with the holdovers, who are some of the newer guys that fans can keep an eye on this season that have been added to Tormenta?
Yeah, I think we're always hesitant as an organization to pinpoint one or two guys. We have a squad of 19 paid pros and 3 academy contract players, making a 22-man squad that we believe every man in there is going to play some kind of role in whatever we achieve this season. So the kinds of players we've got some rookies in, which is really exciting. It's always cool to watch them in opening night, see how they react to the first pro game, see that feeling, seeing them adjust from a college season, and how do they have the sustainability into a pro season that's longer, takes more emotional balance. So watching that evolution for those guys is really helpful. We've had some guys who are coming to us from the championship. Watching them, they've come to us because even though they had options in the championship, they want to be indexed to. They think we are the best platform for them to get to the heights that they want to get to, whether it's MLS or the top end of the championship. So they've come to us, raised their hand and says, I want to be indexed to what the ingredients and sauce that you guys produce here at Tormenta FC and the habits and the culture and so forth. So watching them add to that is really, really interesting. And then we've got guys who are coming with a year or two experience, but have kind of bounced around organizations and have looked across at Tormenta and said, oh, I want a piece of that. So watching these different types of players from different environments adapt to us, and then for us as a coaching staff and an ownership to adapt to them and these new personalities, I think that's the part that's really, really enjoyable. So we have a variety of different types of personnel joining us, and that's something I think the fans will get to know over time, and I really appreciate.
What is that like when you as a coach and an administration get these contacts from players who want to be a part of Tormenta? I mean, they have taken the idea of the location, put it to the side, and it's like, I want to be a part of a winning environment regardless of where it is. What's it like to get phone calls and correspondence like that?
Well, I think what it starts with is a very clear transparency in what we are and what we're trying to do. And we try not to delusion people. We try not to sell something that we're not. We try to put all our laundry out there and make it very, very clear what the expectations are here, what the demands are here, what the experience will be like. But then on the flip side, if you buy into it, if you pay your dues, if you embrace the Tormenta way and what our opportunity presents, then we think we can be a catapult. We think we can be a brilliant platform for you in your career, and you come out of this experience a better man, a better all-round person, greater sense of community, and a better footballer in all senses. So it's really interesting, but the process starts with our really clear definition on who we are to make sure that we're not sending any mixed signals. And so guys come in. Now, even when they come in, there's still some friction. They're still then getting used to the expectations, the amount of oversight that we have, the amount of meetings we have, the accountability we have. There's some friction. Things that are really hard to do in life are rarely easy to achieve. And these guys are coming in understanding the demands that we put on them. But we hope even if they don't understand it now, we hope by the time they leave this organization, they get it. They get the why of our process from top to bottom. But the early conversations are interesting. What motivates a player, what their angle is, where they are in their career. There's a amount of players that we spoke to this year, very good players who we just decided as a staff they weren't quite the right fit for us. And then flip side, there's some players that decided that we aren't the right fit for them. But that's okay. And these conversations are very, very important. So the players that get on the bus who are joining us here under no illusions of what we are and what we stand for. And win, lose or draw, we're proud to have our product on the field and a unity and a camaraderie and everybody singing off the same song sheet. These things are important to us, and we are go-to. The guys we have here, we're really pleased with them. Are they finished this article right now? No. Will we get better over the course of the season? Yeah. But this is a group that we're very, very proud to say that are the Tormenta team for 2023, and we think we can achieve great things with them.
How many of them are asleep right now?
I don't know. I tend to, whenever we get in the bus, I tend to try and not look back the way. Sometimes some of the things they're doing just peeve me off, so I just try to stay forward, face forward, ignore the shenanigans in the back of the bus. Guys who want to sleep, guys who want to have a laugh, guys who are on these stupid video games or talking too loudly or whatnot. I just try to blinker that out, and then once we get off the bus, that creates a better relationship between myself and the players. If I manage to just try to block out some of the crap that they give us on the bus. So I don't know what they're doing back there, but they're in good spirits. It's a highly spirited group. They've got a nice camaraderie around them, and that's important to us.
Last question for you, and thanks for putting up with my questions as you head to your season opener. How are you, as a new father again, and as a head coach, how are you, because you're putting in probably 27, 28 hours a day worth of work as a dad, as a parent, and as a coach. How are you holding up?
Look, I think the simple side from my side, and again, this is a plug, but I'm just blessed to have an incredible wife. I mean, my wife's just a rock star. She's went back to work last week. She's a physician's assistant. She smashes that job. She does some brilliant work, almost more meaningful work to the community than I do. Yet she still allows me the latitude to have a career that requires a different lifestyle. So we have two brilliant young kids, but my wife's an absolute rock star, and that allows me the flexibility to do something that really is the dream job. That is a job that I couldn't pick a better job in the world to get to do, and the privilege I get to have every day to do what I love. So I'm very, very fortunate in that sense, and I've got a lovely home life, a lovely career. Days are hard. There's testy times, but again, I'm just very, very fortunate to have what I have in life, a brilliant family and a family here at Tormenta that fulfills all my potentials. So it's quite easy when you've got a team around you. The coaching staff I have here with me here are very, very good, very clever boys, very hard-working boys with bright futures. I've got an ownership group and a front office group that are superb, and I think that admits through the success that Tormenta's had. And then at home. So with all those things around you, you can't help but you've got everything set up for you to be successful. So it's now my just job to do my job and bring success to home and bring success to the organization.
Amen. Ian, thanks for coming on with us live from the interstate as you guys are heading to Cary. Good luck this weekend. Good luck tomorrow going up against North Carolina FC. Thanks to you, and thanks to Darin. Thanks to everybody there at Tormenta for hanging out with us on the bus. Just get there safely, do well, and we will catch up with you soon, my friend.
Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for the time. Also the support. Thank you very much.
Ian Cameron.
Bye for now.
And Darin van Tassell hanging out with us for South Georgia Tormenta. Fantastic work. And I give Edwin Pintor a lot of credit. That was awesome. And we got players. Oh, we got players. We got players. This is great. Okay, so this is an added bonus. This is an added bonus. All right, Alex, this is an added bonus here. I was not aware of this. We're trying to figure out who we got. So, all right, we're going to go overtime. Oh, they didn't. No, but hey, Hoka, they didn't shut off the device. We got players. It's fantastic. I'll take it. I will literally take this. This is great. Okay, so they didn't shut off the device. And all right, we got players.
Hello?
Yes. Who's this? You are live on the air. Fantastic. Can you hear me here in Atlanta?
Yes, I skipping in and out there.
Okay. I can hear. Yeah, you're good. Absolutely. I can hear fine. I know it might be a little dicey, but that's great. I know that Edwin is working hard trying to get a player. I know that the earbuds might be a little moody. Reception might be a little moody. I see trees moving in the background. This is good. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to take them out temporarily. Oh, fantastic. Oh, we're that close to having players. Okay. Tormenta heading north to Cary, North Carolina, as they are chasing after repeating in USL League One. And we're trying it again off of a different device. So let's see what happens here. I think it was Keziah, but we'll double check it and see if we can come up with images and sound and fury. Because it did look like Kaz. But we will certainly see. All right. We're trying it. Can you hear Atlanta? Soccer down here. Yes, absolutely.
It's like skipping in and out.
Oh, heartbreak. Oh,
Hey, hold up.
wait.
It might be solid now.
All right. How about
can you hear me?
now? Yes.
Oh, I think I actually.
Yeah, keep Siri.
If I
Oh, man. Oh, 2 for 2. All right. We're trying to get players off of the Tormenta bus. And as we are trying to get players off of the Tormenta bus, we'll go over your viewing habits for today. And there's Europa Conference League and stuff. Copa Libertadores is on at 6 and 8 on BN and BN and Espanol. So round 3.
All right, I'm back.
All right. So who do we have?
Elijah Amo.
Okay. Awesome. A couple of questions real quick. What's the preseason been like?
You said what's preseason been like?
Yep, Elijah, what's preseason been like?
It's been good. I mean, it feels good to be on a new team. I mean, I've been welcomed with open arms. You know, getting used to all the tactical play, positional play, everything like that. My new teammates. It's been a pretty good. I think it was 5 weeks.
So when it comes to this club, what's been your biggest adjustment so far?
I think the biggest adjustment has just been like getting used, because whenever you join a new team, it's like getting used to everything, like the organization as a whole. So I think just, getting used to everything and then becoming like 100% comfortable with everybody. That's been the biggest adjustment, I'd say.
Coming off of time with Maryland Bobcats and time in NISA, what were the conversations like for you, Elijah? What attracted you to Tormenta other than the fact that it's a championship club and the time that before spending your time with Maryland? What attracted you to Tormenta?
I would say the coaching staff and the vision that they have and the way that they want to play. I was really interested in that when we spoke in the offseason. So I think that is definitely the number one thing that attracted me to the club. And then other than that, I liked everything that the club stood for outside the field. That involves like the involvement in the community and everything like that, and everything they stand for, really. So.
And when you have jumped into this Tormenta environment, Elijah, I know that the expectations are very, very high, not just for the players, but the players themselves chasing after a repeat. What's it been like for you guys getting the relationships together and understanding, okay, if I do this, I need to do this? How are the relationships on the field going and trying to get everything squared away?
Could you repeat that last part, please?
Sure. No. What's it been like, Elijah, trying to get your on-field relationships to where it's just second nature? Where is everything when it comes to the on-the-field relationships and understanding, if I go here, then I need to do this. This guy goes here, then I need to do this. Where's the on-the-field relationship so far?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, I think that we've been able to work out a lot of the kinks that we had throughout the preseason games that we played. We had 5 preseason games, and each game you could tell that we were getting used to playing with each other more and more. So like the chemistry, it's just been getting better throughout the entire preseason. So I'm interested and really looking forward to seeing how we put it out on the field tomorrow night.
What has study hall been like getting ready for North Carolina FC? You don't have to give away any secrets, but what are you anticipating in this match tomorrow night?
It's opening night, so I'm anticipating a high energy game. It's been a long off season, and everybody's been working towards one goal, and it's coming back better this season. So I'm anticipating it to be a lot of energy. The adrenaline of the fact that this is the first game of the entire season. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the crowd. Looking forward to how we play and all the things that we will be able to implement on the field as the coaching staff have been teaching us throughout the preseason. So I'm really looking forward to everything, every aspect of the game.
Fantastic. Elijah, thanks for hanging out with us on the bus. Thanks for hanging out with the connection. Thank Edwin for everything there. Get safe. Be safe. We'll be watching on ESPN Plus. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the show.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Elijah, oh, wow, that was great. All right, so we're good. We're done, and we are in. We're done with the show. We went overtime, and that's a show, man. Catching them on the bus, that was great, and they're still going. they're still going, and so that's a long show. All right, so Elijah Amo, Darin van Tassell, Ian Cameron, Jarrett, all of you, all of us, we're ending the broadcast because we got stuff to do. We'll talk about more tomorrow, 9 o'clock, 9:05, Beyond Goals 9:30. We can whip around at 10. That's your USL League One preview, everybody. Since it's the end of the show, that means that I'm just going to do a cold out. We'll see you tomorrow night.